What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the access to computing services such as servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, and several others all over the internet, also known as the cloud. Companies offering these computing services are called cloud providers and typically charge for cloud computing services based on usage. This is similar to how you are billed for water or electricity at your house. What do you need to make cloud computing possible? One of the biggest advantages of cloud computing is that it only requires an internet browser and an internet connection. If you have this, you have sure access to at least some form of cloud computing. The concept of cloud computing goes back to the 1960s. J.C.R. Licklider of the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network introduced the idea of an intergalactic computer network. Margaret Lewis, product marketing director for AMD, stated that it is a vision that sounds a lot like what we are calling cloud computing. However, other experts credit computer scientist John McCarthy, who proposed the idea of computation being delivered as a public utility. One of cloud computing's first big milestones came in 1999 with the arrival of Salesforce.com. Salesforce pioneered the concept of delivering enterprise applications through just a simple website. A couple years later, in 2002, the next big development came out. This was Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services provided storage, computation, and human intelligence through Amazon Mechanical Turk. A few years after that, in 2006, Amazon launched Elastic Compute Cloud, a service which enabled small companies to run their own computer applications on Amazon computers. In 2009, Web 2.0 was becoming popular, and Google started offering browser-based services through Google Apps. Google Apps is probably what most people think of when they hear cloud computing. How does cloud computing work? By using cloud storage, you don't have to store the information on your own hard drive. Instead, you can access it from any location and download it onto any device of your choice, including laptops, tablets, or smartphones. Moreover, you can also edit files such as Word documents or PowerPoint presentations simultaneously with other users, making it easier to work away from the office. Some of the more popular cloud computing services are iCloud, Google Cloud Connect, IBM Smart Cloud, and Google Drive. Whether you realize it or not, you use cloud computing every day. Some popular everyday uses of cloud computing include but are not limited to Google Drive, iCloud, and Netflix. For that matter, the average website that you visit containing any form of information also uses cloud computing. There are three types of cloud computing services. The first one is Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. There are several things that businesses can do with IaaS. Teams can quickly set up and dismantle test and development environments, bringing new applications to market faster. IaaS makes it quick and economical to scale up dev test environments up and down. With IaaS, running websites will be less expensive than traditional web hosting. Businesses can use IaaS to avoid the capital outlay for storage and complexity of storage management. This is important because these two things typically require a skilled staff to meet certain legal requirements. IaaS is also equipped to handle unpredictable demand and steadily growing storage needs. The infrastructure needed to support web applications is all provided by IaaS. Included is storage, web and application servers, and networking resources. Businesses are able to deploy web applications through IaaS and adjust infrastructure based on the unpredictability of the demand for an app. IaaS helps solve problems involving millions of variables and calculations through high-performance computing on supercomputers, computer grids, and computer clusters. Some examples are earthquake and protein folding simulations, climate and weather predictions, financial modeling, and evaluating product designs. IaaS is also useful in mining large amounts of data by locating hidden patterns in it. The second type of cloud service is Platform as a Service, or PaaS. PaaS offers a framework for developers that can be built upon to develop cloud applications. Developers can use built-in software components to create applications. Tools provided as a service with PaaS allow organizations to analyze and mine their data, finding insights and patterns and predicting outcomes to improve forecasting, product design decisions, investment returns, and other business decisions. PaaS providers also offer services that enhance applications such as workflow, directory, security, and scheduling. The last type of cloud service is Software as a Service, or SaaS. Some examples of SaaS are email services like Outlook, Hotmail, and Yahoo Mail. With SaaS, you can log into your account through an internet browser. The software is stored on the service provider's network as well as your messages. There are also three types of cloud deployments. The first is public cloud. A public cloud is one that is owned and operated by a third party. The service provider delivers the computing resources over the internet. An example of a public cloud is Microsoft Azure. All infrastructure on a public cloud belongs to the cloud provider. The second type of cloud deployment is the private cloud. A private cloud is a set of resources used exclusively by a single business or organization. The private cloud will either be physically located in the company's data center or it will be rented from a third-party service provider. Anyhow, the services and infrastructure run on a private network. The last type of cloud deployment is the hybrid cloud. A hybrid cloud is a cloud that combines aspects of a public cloud and a private one. Hybrid clouds are bound together by technology that lets data and applications be shared between them. Allowing this movement will give businesses and organizations greater flexibility. A Chromebook is a laptop that runs on Google's Chrome OS. The Chromebook was developed by Sundar Pichai in 2011. The Chromebook runs on Google's Chrome OS. Unlike a PC or Mac, the Chromebook is cloud-based, so there is very little physical storage on it. Some of the features of the Chromebook are the fast startup, a built-in virus protection system, and automatic updates. Also, they are typically pretty inexpensive. There are several advantages to using cloud computing over using a traditional hard drive with local storage. With cloud computing, there is worldwide access, so pretty much anyone can access the information they are looking for. With local storage, that is impossible due to the fact that the information is only stored in one place. Cloud computing makes more storage available to the user. With local storage, the hardware that one owns can only hold so much information. With cloud computing, the company holds all the hardware, so the lack of storage space on hardware is not an issue that the user has to deal with. Also, with less hardware, the costs of storing information will be reduced. Another advantage is the easy setup. Like I mentioned earlier, cloud computing only requires an internet browser and an internet connection, not very much setup at all. Because cloud computing is internet-based, updates can easily be sent out automatically by the service provider. This makes it easier on the user because they do not have to figure out how to install it. Also, it is more user-friendly because the update will not take up the user's time in the same way. One of the really big advantages that most of us have utilized is the way cloud computing makes collaboration easier. For example, there can be one Google Doc that everyone in the group has access to. Each member can work on the document at will, and the work will be visible to all of the other group members. This process would be impossible with a traditional hard drive. Not only does this make everything easier, but it also makes the project more efficient. While there are many advantages, there are also a couple disadvantages such as these. In addition, surprisingly, there are still some people that haven't adapted to the cloud yet.